Happy Easter, everyone. It's official. Spring market is here. Stay tuned for this week's segment of Market Watch to learn more. Hi, everybody. It's Joshua Barks here, associate broker with Keller Williams Realty Boise and the Barks & Co. Real Estate team. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's segment of Market Watch. We're going to dive right into those numbers to keep this short for you, going over the Ada County existing housing market and the numbers there. Spring has officially sprung. We have inventory stayed pretty much the same this week compared to last week. We are finally averaging over 200 homes on the market, which is still down by half, more than half actually, than what we typically see this time of year. We had 225 active listings on the market in all of Ada County. Last week we had 222, so we're up slightly overall. And week over week we had 164 listings hit the market last week, whereas this week we had 162, so staying pretty consistent there as well. Then when we dive into the number of pending sales and the homes that are under contract, we actually had a spike in the week over week under contracts, where this week we had 174 listings go under contract, whereas last week we had 157 go under contract. The overall number of pendings, though, did dip. That has a lot to do with the next stat, which is the number of homes sold. So last week we had 671 homes that were pending and under contract. This week we have 654 that are pending and under contract. And like I said, a lot of that has to do with the number of closings, because the number of homes sold for the first time since November of last year is actually almost 200 homes closing in 1 week. So we had 191 homes sell this week, whereas last week we had 122. It is typical that we see the most closings either the last week of the month or the first week of the month. That's pretty common, and this just goes to show what a strong spring this has started out to be. I know I've been saying that for weeks now, that the spring is going to be really strong and that activity has started really early this year because we've had such a mild winter, and it's just fantastic. So the number of sales is up compared to what we were seeing. And when we're going into next week's video, I'm so excited because I'll be bringing you the market dynamics for everything that took place this March, and we can compare to what happened this same time last year, so last March. And then I'm extra excited for a month from now when we're gonna go over April's market dynamics, where we're gonna talk about really when we were in the thick of COVID last year compared to what is happening this year. So that'll be really exciting. Stay tuned for that. Interest rates remain flat as well this week. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is averaging 3.18% this week, whereas last week it was at 3.17. So slightly up from that as well. Like I've said before, interest rates are likely going to continue to rise throughout the year, though stay below 4% by the end of the year. So make sure you have an agent out there, because this market is competitive for those buyers out there, and it can be especially difficult for sellers to navigate if they don't have somebody that really knows what's going on in the market and is in the thick of it every day. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be interviewed, or just bounce your questions off me. That's what I'm here for. My number is 208-914-1095. Feel free to call or text anytime. And then you can also visit our website, and my email's also at the bottom of the screen. Well, that's it for this week's video. Again, I wanted to keep it short, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Easter weekend, and we'll see you next week.